G'day and welcome back to Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall. My name is Browny and I'm your podcast host, and this is the Good Things Festival 2019 preview. We are just under a month away from the East Coast event, heading up the coast of Australia, and we're going to see a plethora of great bands taking part in this festival, including some making their very first Australian debut as well. Now, coming up over the course of this podcast, I'm going to fill you in on everything you need to know that's up to date right now involving the festival, including side shows, the band competition so your band can play too, and get you up close and personal with 3 of the acts on the lineup. I'm going to be chatting to Rou from Enter Shikari, Spencer from Nine Kills, and the legendary Matt Heafy from Trivium. We're going to talk about their set list, what they've been up to, and what the future holds for the bands as well. On top of that, the whole playlist features bands on the lineup, so you might come across something you never thought you would want to go and check out, and after hearing that song, you might want to go lock them in on your day. All that and more still to come on this episode, but right now, let's officially kick it off with these guys here. This is Falling in Reverse with Drugs on Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall, the Good Things Festival preview.
'Cause everybody's on drugs. Kill yourself. It's not what you said to me. I'm already dead, just differently. We say God is real. I disagree. Cause if that were true, then we all be free,
Running from something that's killing me, dealing with such an uncomfortable feeling, beginning to feel the hostility from my ability of slowly becoming a villain. I just want to thank all my fans, especially without you is a death to me. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I've been doing this shit since I'm 70. This is my destiny, this is the best of me. It's an incredible feel on the ground, letting it go, I'm letting you know. We're killing ourselves on the loud. Everybody wants some, everybody gets none from me. Cause everybody's on drugs. The American dream is a killing machine. We're falling in love with a new disease. If it's killing you, then it's murdering me. I'm getting so hard, life, you're having so much fun, staring down a loaded gun, and you don't see that it's killing you. Cause everybody's on drugs. Save yourself, is what I'm telling you. Cause nobody else really has a clue. Until your veins hang like heroin. Accept the pain, just to feel again. We feel it. Everybody wants some, everybody gets none from me. Cause everybody's on drugs. Hard to believe the American dream is a killing machine. We're all falling in love with a new disease. If it's killing you, then it's murdering me. I'm getting so hard, life, you're having so much fun, staring down a loaded gun, and you don't see that it's killing you. Everybody is down from the neck up, trying to get their heads up, searching for a way out. This is a dying nation, so complacent. Spirits need awaken. What are we waiting for? Fuck Die, motherfucker! Die, motherfucker, die! Cause everybody's on drugs. The American dream is a killing machine. Everybody's on drugs. If it's killing you, it's so fucking life, you're having so much fun, staring down a loaded gun, and you don't see that it's killing you. And you don't see that it's killing you. Cause everybody's on drugs. Cause everybody's on drugs.
Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall with Browny.
won't get it, and that you'll never understand. I'm sorry that I can't be perfect, but I'm not changing who I am. Maybe there's no destination, maybe I'm gonna make mistakes. I'll let you in on one of my secrets. I'm still just as lost as yesterday, but it feels like home. I found a reason, and suddenly I'm not so alone. I'm finally breathing like I never could on my own. Start the countdown, let's get it on. Scream my lungs out to our favorite song, 'cause this is where I belong. Look past the warning signs, the same ones that told me I should just turn back and run. Play it safe before you come undone. If you saw through my eyes, this view was worth the climb. Believe me when I say there's no place in this world I'd rather be. Found a reason, and suddenly I'm not so alone. I'm finally breathing like I never could on my own. Start the countdown, let's get it on. Scream my lungs out to our favorite song, 'cause this is where I belong. I found a reason, suddenly I'm not so alone. I'm finally breathing like I never could on my own. Start the countdown, let's get it on. Scream my lungs out to our favorite song, 'cause this is where I belong. 'Cause this is where I belong.
That right there is the brand new single for Simple Plan. It's called Where I Belong on Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall. Let's kick off the interviews with this bloke here.
Alright, this is Ralph from Enter Shikari. You're listening to Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall.
Stop the clocks. Stop the clocks, I'm killing time. I don't ever want this to end. And you said that makes two of us.
It's been a couple of years since they graced our shores, and I didn't think it was going to happen. However, they're on Good Things Festival, and I'm stoked to have a chat to Rou from Enter Shikari. Mate, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Didn't think it was going to happen. Yeah, we you can't keep us away from Australia for too long. I know it's been 2 years, which feels like too long, especially for us. But yeah, we're buzzing to come back.
Well, let me explain this reasoning behind this. I was supposed to have a chat with you for The Spark when the album came out, but I was stuck overseas and it didn't end up happening. But I was actually petrified we weren't going to see this incredible album performed in Australia. What was the hold up and why did it take so long to get here?
We've got no excuse, to be honest. Like, it just didn't seem to fit at any point. I think mainly, I guess, when you're a sort of environmentally conscious band, you want to make sure that your touring route is like as kind of least carbon intensive as possible.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of work in Australia when we're perhaps over in Malaysia or something, or when we're going to India, we can then go on to show and just make it all sort of work and route properly. And unfortunately, it just hasn't happened. And so now we just thought, oh, fuck it, well, it's been too long, we've got to just come back. And luckily we got this Good Things Festival to come and accommodate us.
Yeah, look, I'm glad it's actually happening because we need to talk about that incredible album. I know you put a tweet out a couple of weeks back that said the Spark era is over, but I'm not letting you give up on it yet until I talk about how amazing this was. First of all, congratulations. This is one of the first Enter Shikari albums that made me shed tears.
Oh, yes, excellent. I feel like that's my job now. My job description is making grown men cry.
Well, you're doing a bang-up job of it, and I have to say that the reasoning behind that was because of the song An Ode to Jigsaw Pieces. An incredibly heartfelt story behind this, and the way that you turned that legacy of your grandparent into this song was just so moving, so much so that I related it to my relationship with my grandparents who sadly passed away over a decade ago. And it was amazing that you could hear this song and your emotion and what you went through and relate it to my own personal stories. And it was just such a great release. So much so, I think I had it in like my top 10 songs of the entire year. So well done to you for that.
Oh, brilliant. No, thank you so much. That's one of the, the best things about music when someone can take it and put it sort of inject their own life and their own experiences into the music and make the music their own. That, you know, that couldn't ask for more. It's amazing.
It's incredible to see, you know, where you guys have come from. Like, my first introduction to Enter Shikari was Sorry You're Not a Winner. And then to hear, like, all of the songs that were on The Spark, like, it's hard to believe that you guys are the same band. But, you know, progression happens, bands get older, members get older, and you mature over years and you start writing more personal stuff as opposed to party jams. Is that kind of like nailing the nail on the head, so to say?
I mean, I think for us, we're just kind of so fidgety. We're sort of so relentlessly progressive. I don't think, you know, for all the sort of percentage of people out there that want to hear sort of the first album of a band over and over again and want to hear, you know, an exact specific type of music, I actually don't think they really do. I think no one wants to see a band sort of play music that they're not intensely, honestly passionate about. And, you know, it's impossible to keep writing exactly the same music and be honestly passionate about it for over 10 years. So, yeah, I think for us, it's all about the honesty. It's all about the intensity and just making sure we're progressive. I mean, making sure isn't the right phrase to use as well, because for us, it's so innate to what Shikari is. It's all about discovery. It's all about, you know, keeping things moving forward.
Well, what's one of the most incredible things that you discovered about yourself with this progression with the band and this self-discovery, I guess you could say, you've had?
Oh, so much. I mean, like, you know, the band is my life. So, like, in terms of personal things, like the amount of things that Shikari has, not only helped me discover about myself, but also it's kind of pushed me into areas of great discomfort as well and great pain. But in doing that, you then learn more about yourself as well. So there's this whole scope of things that it's helped me with. I mean, certainly things like confidence and social anxiety and stuff like that. It's helped me discover a great deal about myself. And just in terms of like your physical possibilities as well. Do you know what I mean? Like how much you can push your body before you just absolutely collapse. And I think being in a full-time touring band definitely gives you a bit of that.
And on a bit of a light-hearted note, it actually makes you realise that you can rock a sweet, sweet mullet later on in life as opposed to a child growing up.
I mean, I've definitely had some questionable hairstyles throughout my life. That's not even the worst.
Well, look, you can back it up with great talent and great music. We're going to get on the latest single right now, and we'll talk about this in a second, and we'll find out what it's all about and what Shikari are doing moving forward. But right now, let's check out Stop the Clocks on Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall.
Cinema in me, it plays counterfeit scenes, all my worries and blunders, and you said that makes two of us. Where's this present you speak of? Where's this heavenly bliss? I'm so sick of time travel, and you said that makes two of us. And all your life you just exist. And all your life, it's moments missed. And all the time you wait in line, what you find, well, that makes two of us. Stop the clocks, I'm killing time. I don't ever want this to end. And you said that makes two of us. Stop the clocks, I'm killing time. I don't ever want this to end. And you said that makes two of us. Drifting, my life is unmoored now. Give me coordinates, please. I look for a safe harbor. And you said that makes two of us. There's a cinema in me. It plays counterfeit scenes, all my worries and blunders. And you said that makes two of us. And all your life, you just exist. And all your life, it's moments missed. And all the time, you wait in line. What you find, well, that makes two of us. Stop the clocks. Stop the clocks, I'm killing time. I don't ever want this to end. And you said that makes two of us. Stop the clocks. Stop the clocks, I'm killing time. I don't ever want this to end. And you said that makes two of us.
The latest single for Enter Shikari, it's called Stop the Clocks on Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall. They are heading down under for Good Things Festival, December 6 to 8. Rou, this is the first taste of new music for Enter Shikari. Is this kind of an inkling of what we can expect with this next album that's coming about?
I love answering this question. Absolutely not. This was written very much as its own sort of thing. The idea was there during writing The Spark. So for us, it feels like it's more like the end of the Spark era, or sort of the final full stop from that sort of time, rather than the beginning of the new stuff. The new stuff, although it is still in the early stages, I'm just over what I call the initial stage one, which is just pure anxiety, just standing at the foot of the mountain thinking, oh my God, we've got to write a whole new album. It's quite an imposing, disorientating time. But I think that it's sounding at the moment kind of completely different again. So yeah, but that's us. That's what we're just talking about, I suppose.
Yeah, always changing things up. And the thing about that song as well, like, I'm glad that you said it was kind of like a wrapping up of the last album, because it's such a vibrant, upbeat, fun, happy kind of feeling song, that kind of thing. And like, you look back through previous albums that you guys have put out, you can even go back as far as the Minesweep. Like, that was a lot angry and tension filled, and this one seemed a bit more emotional and like in touch with your feelings and all that. Are you sort of at that point now where you're like, okay, well, we can put out an album and have a different theme for each one, or a different feeling for each one, or is it kind of the same thing the whole way through? We just don't see it up close through the songs. That didn't make any sense at all, but I hope you can get something from that.
Yeah, no, I think I know what you mean. I think for us, each album will definitely have a sort of, maybe not even as concrete as a theme, but it'll just have an atmosphere. It'll be a year in the life of, really. So, different things happen to us all every year, and we experience different things, and we enjoy new experiences, and it all comes out in the music. I think there's always sort of a common sort of thread running through the whole string of albums. It always sounds like us. But yeah, certainly it's always going to be kind of delving into different aspects of life and keeping things, progressive.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, different albums come from different times of your life. Obviously, that's a normal staple for making an album, but just to sort of pull in my own personal experiences for a quick second, I've been through like a couple of years of shit, and I found myself listening to a lot of heavy, emotive music during that point. However, at this point in time, like, I'm really happy with life and the way that everything's going, and I'm finding myself like resonating and leaning towards a lot more happier, upbeat, poppy, pop-punky kind of songs. Like, does that sort of represent, you know, with the last album, that you guys were a lot happier than what you were a couple of years beforehand?
Well, The Spark's a weird one because it was written during pretty much my most difficult year of existence, and in, you know, in terms of everything happening at once. You know, as you mentioned, jigsaw pieces of the death of my last surviving grandparent, and I had a relationship finish that would been a very, you know, long-term stable part of my life. All sorts of other things were going on with my mental health, and obviously this was back in sort of 2015, 2016, when the world was just discovering Donald Trump as a president, and Brexit was just starting. So it was a completely tumultuous, very odd time with just, you know, the unexpected happening, bang, 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 like quick fire after another. So lyrically, there's a lot of kind of dark and somber themes on The Spark, but strangely a lot of, I mean, not all of it, but like a fair bulk of the album is, as you say, quite upbeat. And I think, you know, it's interesting looking back on these things, because I perhaps didn't know it at the time, but I think there was a sort of a hope when we would eventually come to play these songs. I would be in a better place, you know, a year down the line, when after we'd wrote and recorded them, the album was out, and we were touring them, I'd be able to enjoy the upbeat nature of the songs, and immerse myself in that more positive energy, whilst, you know, still addressing important subjects that, you know, especially as a man in the 21st century, it's ridiculous that it's still sort of a bit wild, or, you know, a bit out there to be able to address, you know, various emotions and vulnerabilities that often society sort of persuades young men that they shouldn't address.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, it was kind of it's a strange sort of paradox, but I think that's something that's happened. You know, a lot of our inspirations come from post-punk and the 1980s, and a lot of that sort of alternative side of music. It was, you know, in a way, it was pop music. It was alt pop, but one of the main differentiations is that the lyrics meant something. It wasn't just kind of bubblegum pop that was just throwaway, meaningless, soulless stuff that was just there to hopefully top the charts. It was real emotive stuff, but done with a fucking melody, you know. So it's and that era has been just a main inspiration for us. So with The Spark, I think that was it felt like our post-punk moment.
Look, I think you've nailed it right then and there. We'll wrap up with that. I mean, you guys are making music that can be taken to a mainstream audience or market. This can be played on Top 40 radio, but the songs actually mean something. It's not just the repetitive pop bullshit over and over again, churning through artist after artist. Like, you guys have a great sound behind you, a great purpose, a great message, and more people need to hear this going forward. So I hope that, you know, the world jumps on Enter Shikari and what you guys do next, because let's face it, you guys have the ability to take over the world and change them with your opinions and your mentality. So let's see more of that in future.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it feels like an absolute, you know, honour to be able to use music to create these communities and to kind of help people discover things about themselves or whatever it is. So it's, feel very happy and lucky that we're able to still do this.
Beautiful. Well, we're going to be very happy with the fact that we get to hear songs off The Spark down under for Good Things Festival, December 6 to 8 up the East Coast. Rou from Enter Shikari, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, man. I'll see you soon.
Today, for the very first time, we started planning out the ultimate crime. Looking together to destroy this world stasis. Browny, see what's the thesis? Fucking believe institutions are established and invested. What's the last going to try to test it? No, just force fed and digested. It's about time we get contested. pressure from our foes. We don't belong here, so we're rising through the stubborn and so cold. 'Cause we don't belong here, we don't belong here. Our minds are dormant and static, don't ever respect conventional thought without reason. We need to fucking erupt. Crusty fucking tyrants, instigating violence, in sporadic discordance, we'll find maximum assurance. Now they're cracking under pressure from our foes. We don't belong here, so we're rising through the stubborn and so cold. 'Cause we don't belong here. Now they're cracking under pressure from our foes. We don't belong here, so we're rising through the stubborn and so cold. This is the calm before the storm. One last seeds to break the wall, so I can lie here on the floor beside you. No one else the outside. No one else about that. No one else us. No one else us. We've all inherited this world. We need to fucking erupt. We need to fucking erupt. Yeah. Now they're cracking under pressure from our foes. We don't belong here, so we're rising through the stubborn and so cold. 'Cause we don't belong here. Now they're cracking under pressure from our foes. We don't belong here, so we're rising through the stubborn and so cold. 'Cause we don't belong here. This is the calm before the storm. One last seeds to break the wall, so I can lie here on the floor beside you.
The boys from Enter Shikari on Wall of Sound up against the wall, and not only are they playing the Good Things Festival, but they're also doing a sideshow in Melbourne, which is taking place on Thursday, December 5 at the Croxton Band Room. And they're not the only ones doing some sideshows for the festival. Nine Kills are also doing a couple of shows, one in Sydney, one in Melbourne. Real Big Fish, you can catch them in Melbourne and Sydney as well too. Trivium are going to be playing a sideshow on Wednesday, December 4 in Canberra, and Simple Plan are going to be playing at the Gold Coast and Adelaide after the festival finishes. Now, if you prefer your music a little bit on the heavier side, you can go check out Thy Art Is Murder doing a tour with Gravemind. They're playing in Adelaide and Perth after the festival takes place, and giving back to the fans who didn't get the chance to see them when they played their East Coast tour earlier this year. But the big one I'm looking forward to is Poppy. Not only is she making her Australian debut at Good Things Festival, but she's making her Australian headline show debut in Melbourne just a couple of days out from the event. She'll be performing at Stay Gold on Wednesday, December 4. And if you haven't got involved with the world of Poppy as of yet, she's kind of doing something weird and wacky, combining pop with heavy music together, and it just seems to work. So much so, she's toured with the likes of Bring Me the Horizon, and she's also featured Fever 333 on one of her songs as well. For all the details on that show or any of the side shows, all you need to do is head to wallofsoundau.com and just type in Good Things Festival. Especially if you want to go check out anything involving the festival, look for our rolling coverage. It's got everything announced so far for the event, so you don't have to trawl around the internet trying to find information. But right now, let's get this on to celebrate Poppy's debut in Australia. This is her song I Disagree from the album of the same name coming out next year. On Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall.
This is Liam from Wind Waker, and you're listening to Wall of Sound Up Against the Wall.
as if I couldn't include those blokes there. Wind Waker and Wall of Sound up against the wall. They are doing big things in Australia's upcoming heavy music scene, and definitely a band you might want to check out at the event too. But right now, let's get into these guys who are also making their debut at the festival and a couple of side shows.
Hey, this is Spencer from Nine Kills, and you're listening to Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall.
I'm bloody stoked to finally get this guy on the podcast. I've fallen in love with Ice Nine Kills, and we finally get to see them down in Australia. Please welcome to the show, Spencer Charnas from the band. Mate, welcome.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
It's been a long time coming. Ice Nine Kills have been around for quite a bit of time, but this is your first Australian visit. Now, much like when we had a chat with New Year's Day, who you're close with as well, is it just a situation of you didn't have much of a following down here to warrant a trip down here, or what's taken so long to get here?
I think we just never really got the opportunity, but, you know, with the success of the last couple albums and really branching out and gaining a larger fan base in the realm of not only rock, but in the world of horror, it's finally come to fruition, and we couldn't be more excited.
Look, the last album that you put out is absolutely fucking fantastic, and like, if anyone hasn't jumped on this yet, they need to give themselves an uppercut. The Silver Screen was incredible. You combined heavy music with my other passion, which is horror movies, slasher flicks, and it's such an incredible idea that hopefully you gain more fans because of that crossover itself. Like, congratulations, that was a fucking amazing album.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that, and one of the cool things about the album is that, you know, people that might have not liked horror, who liked metal, have told us that they got into the horror genre because of the album, and that means a lot to me. So I'm glad you enjoyed it too.
Awesome. And it's good to have that crossover as well too, one liking one and then getting into the other, that kind of thing. But the thing that's always intrigued me about this album itself is, how do you write a song based upon a movie? Like, what's the concept of writing, let's say, for example, Stabbing in the Dark, which is obviously about the Halloween series. In your head, how do you go, right, here's a movie, let me turn that into a song?
Yeah, so usually the process goes, I'll sit down at a piano or with my guitar, and I'll just sort of experiment. You know, I know that, hey, I want to write this song about Michael Myers. I want to touch on the feeling of John Carpenter's score and the textures that he used, and that very simple yet haunting piano that you know is so iconic. That, you know, when you play those few notes, dun 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 dun, you know, you don't even have to know hard to know something bad is coming.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, usually that's the process, and I'll record a piece of music, you know, in very primitive software like a garage band, and then start putting melodies over it. And then once I have something that's sort of a fleshed out idea, then go back and put the lyrics down. But I was very conscious when doing this record of knowing what parts, hey, you know, I want this part in the beginning of Stabbing in the Dark to evoke the feeling like he's breaking out of the mental asylum. So I want an alarm to sound like it's going off here. And was very meticulous about using and homaging very iconic moments from those films, and then putting my own spin on it. You know, there's a police a voiceover part that happened in Stabbing in the Dark, and a lot of people say, oh, you know, that maybe weren't so familiar with Halloween, like, oh, that's right from the movie. You know, no, that was something that I just wrote as my own sort of homage to that film, and mixed it in with the stuff that's memorable, and even taking textures from, you know, Halloween 2, that, you know, they play Mr. Sandman, that song that eventually became synonymous with the series, and tying that melody in before the choruses. And it's just a lot of fun putting those songs together.
I would love to pick your brain about this one day, because I've grown up with these movies. Like, my favourite movie as a kid was Jaws 2. I took that to preschool, and I couldn't understand why they wouldn't allow me to let the kids watch it for movie day. And from there, like, Scream is my ultimate top 3 movie of all time, and the fact that you guys have a song about that now, it just makes me fall in love with you. And the fact that you can do this in such an articulate way, it's more than just writing a heavy song about this movie. Like, the way you go into depth about it is just insane. So I would love to, take your brain out of your head for a day just to see how you think.
Well, thank you. That's very flattering. And anytime I hear people appreciate the amount of detail we put into it, it just reminds me that all of the work that we put in is not in vain. And so thank you for that.
Now, in regards to coming down under for these shows with Good Things Festival, December 6 to 8, it's a debut performance, but it's a music festival performance. How will you guys decide what's going to be beneficial for you to get that reaction from the fans? Will you play a whole lot of songs from the new album or, the Silver Scream Deluxe Edition, or are you just going to go back into the back catalogues and pick all the bangers that people know and love?
I think, for us, it's our first time in Australia, so I'm not really sure what people are familiar with. But if touring in Europe is any indication, people really like the last two albums. So the set list will probably be comprised mainly of a lot of Silver Scream and the new song Your Number's Up, as well as some choice cuts from Every Trick in the Book, the previous album.
Excellent. So it's a situation of like, if you've just got into Ice Nine Kills, now is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to catch you guys at these shows in Australia.
Exactly.
Now, when you're down here, have you come down for a holiday before, or is this your first time?
No, that's part of the reason why it's so exciting. I've never been to Australia. I've always wanted to go, so this will be my first trip to Australia at all. And so to come there and be playing is even more of an exciting factor.
Obviously the stereotypical thing, let's bring it out. Like, when you come to Australia, people are like, you got to get a photo with a koala, you got to go see the Sydney Opera House, that kind of thing. Is that what you've sort of got lined up to do, or do you want to do a couple of, off-the-track kind of things?
I want to meet Chris Lilly and go to a Silverchair concert.
Well, Chris Lilly should be easy to find, but Silverchair, they've been broken up for years, and there's no way in hell they're going to get back together anytime soon.
Ah, damn it. I'll see if I could find Daniel Johns. Maybe he's hanging out at the festival.
Well, that could be the idea. He pops up at shows every now and then, so you've got that. But another suggestion I've got is, why don't you go check out the Belangolo Forest, which is, obviously where all those murders were committed with Ivan Milat. Would you go visit a place like that to get inspiration to write a song?
Oh, absolutely. I really take great pride in adding authenticity to what we do, and even some of the tracks on Silver Scream, I recorded some of the vocals at locations where the movies were filmed. For Halloween, I did that at the Michael Myers house, and for the Nightmare on Elm Street song, I did some tracking at the 1428 Elm Street, which is also just all located in the Los Angeles area. I absolutely love doing stuff like that.
All right, so in regards to new music, obviously, this album's come out. You're still on the touring cycle for this and the deluxe edition, so we can get a bit more and a couple of varied styles with acoustic songs. Like, what's next for the band? Would you consider doing a Silver Scream 2.0, or is it just that concept's done, time to work on something new?
I think that I'm still sort of thinking about exactly where I want to go with everything. A lot of people are calling for a sequel in true horror fashion. That usually happens. But I want to make sure if we do that it's a fresh take on it and it's a fresh cut. No pun intended. Or pun intended.
You've got it all planned out, which is so bloody good. Before we wrap things up, we need to talk about the master and legend that is Wes Craven. Obviously, he's such an iconic identity in the horror, slasher, thriller movie scene and all that, and so much so that you've taken inspiration and put him into your song, Your Number's Up, as well. Like, what was this guy to you, and how did he inspire you to become the musician you are and to write these songs on this latest album?
Yeah, I mean, with Wes Craven, creating one horror icon that people know all over the world is, one in a billion. So the fact that he was able to do that twice with Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street, and then again in the next decade with Scream and Ghostface, I think is a real testament to his artistic vision. And he's always been a huge influence to me, not just as far as a visual storyteller, but also the story surrounding how Nightmare on Elm Street became what it was. Always sort of mirrored my spirit in the sense of not giving up with my dreams. No pun intended there. But basically what happened was when they were creating and pitching Nightmare on Elm Street, they got turned down by every single major studio. You know, Paramount, who famously had the Friday the 13th franchise, told Wes Craven that, you know, no one is interested in films about dreams. So he had to go out and find other financing from a very small company at the time and made the film. And that company was New Line Cinema, which, you know, obviously we know how that story ended. They went on to become one of the biggest studios in history with, you know, films like Lord of the Rings, which have grossed, you know, billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was turned down at every turn and didn't give up when people said he was crazy sort of mirrored the way I looked at my career and not giving up in the face of adversity. And I just very much respect him and was fortunate enough to meet him before his untimely passing, and got to tell him how fantastic I thought his work was. And I still, one of my most prized possessions is my signed Wes Craven Ghostface mask.
Oh, mate, you shouldn't have told me that now, because if I ever find out where you live, I'm breaking into your house and I'm flogging that. That is amazing.
I'll lock up tight.
All right, mate, we can't wait to have you guys down here. Ice Nine Kills are on the rise in Australia. It's taken you a bit of time to get here. Good Things Festival is where you can catch these debut shows, and then hopefully after that we see you guys back down under again for a couple of more shows after that. Spencer, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you, man. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully we see you very soon.
Hello? Who's this?
Soon you'll discover.
I'm sorry, sir, but I think you have the wrong number.
In just a minute, you'll be dying to hang on the line. Tell me your name, I'll tell you
My
mine.
name? But
You
what?
picked up the phone when Mom and Dad left you alone. I wanna know who I'm looking at. A dial tone, a deadly ring, so far away from everything. No silver screens or movie scenes. When the number's up, it's time to scream.
Who's there?
Don't you know nothing has those questions?
What will become of me?
You wanna know what the shirt that sentence? Have you not seen this movie? Pretty Michael Jason for me, but for those who came before me, let's just a category. That's a familiar story.
I'm hanging up the phone. My mom and dad will soon be home. I won't fall victim to the blade. I'm not afraid of the
Dial tone, a deadly ring, so far away from everything. No silver screens or movie scenes. When the number's up, it's time to scream.
What do you want?
I wanna see what your insides look like.
How could you be so evil?
Our film is nearly finished, and for you there is no sequel. Just lay your body on the cutting room floor. All bets are off. I just bury more. When the cops find the phone, you're still listed as unknown. It's the end of the line, and all that's left is a dial tone, a deadly ring, so far away from everything. No silver screens or movie scenes. When the number's up, it's time to scream. 'Cause the knife in you brings out the life in me. Last scene in a slasher stream. When the number's up, it's time to scream. Time to scream. When the number's up, it's time to scream.
I'm being attacked. Don't you Craven, wait. Please. You gotta kill me.
Hey, this is Andy from Varda's Murder, and you're listening to Wall of Sound Up Against the Wall.
Thy Art is Murder, Death Squad Anthem, and Wall of Sound up against the wall. And if you want to play alongside those legends or any of the other bands on the festival, then this is what you need to do. Good Things Festival are looking for bands in each state who are going to win the opportunity to play at the festival. All you need to do is get your band in and get fans voting for you. How you do it is you head to the website and check out the page for what you need to do to register your band to play. What you do then is create an account, fill out all the information you need for your band, and then get people to start voting. Now, the way this works after that is the top 4 bands from each city, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane, with the most votes will be invited to play a showcase for industry professionals. Now, from there, one artist per city will win the opportunity to play at Good Things Festival. Sounds simple? Well, that's because it is. Get your band in right now because fan voting closes on Sunday, November 17 at 6 p.m. And who knows, you could be the next band to be announced for the Good Things Festival lineup, playing alongside Violent Soho, Bad Religion, Parkway, A Day to Remember, and even these legends as well. This is Gravemind with Vulgan on Wall of Sound up against the wall.
What's up? This is Winston McCall from Parkway Drive. You're listening to Wall of Sound up against the wall. Woo!
against the world. Forever the underdogs. We are the bastard sons. We are the ones that refuse to grow cold. We are the thorn in your side. We are the thieves in the night. And we're coming to take what's ours. No regrets. No regrets. We inherit the sins of the fathers. Now reap the vengeance. No regrets. We inherit the sins of the fathers. Now reap the vengeance. Now, from the ashes of your nightmares, from the cradle to the grave, we place our hand on the justice that you represent. Now we rise to beauty of the days. We are the diamonds that choose to stay calm. A generation born to witness the end of the world. Born to witness the end of the world. Before the underdogs, before the underdogs, before the
If you, like me, love Parkway Drive so much, you need to check them out at Good Things Festival, headlining their first Australian touring music festival. We've seen what these boys are capable of over the past couple of years, and especially with their most recent European headline slots in festivals over there too, all of which you'll be able to check out in their forthcoming movie, Viva the Underdogs, which just got announced last week. It's hitting cinemas for one night only, January next year. For all the details, you can find out more at wallofsoundau.com. Just search for Parkway Drive. But if you like your metal turned up to 11, you need to go check out these guys on the day.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt from Trivium, and you're listening to Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall.
It's been 3 long years since we last saw Trivium on our shores, and they are returning for the Good Things Festival, kicking off December 6th in Melbourne, heading up the East Coast. Matt Heafy from Trivium joins me now. Mate, welcome back, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm very happy to be talking to you, as we are Twitter pals. It's great to hear from you.
We certainly are. Like, I go around and I tell everyone how cool it is and how Twitter brings people together and all of that. And, like, the day you followed me, I had to hold back the fanboy in me to not freak out. But, mate,
dude.
You have great banter.
Oh, man, feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. I'm very happy getting back. It's just, I'm bummed it's so quick. You know, I'm really excited that it's been this festival. The lineup looks incredible. Australia's one of our favorite places in the world, one of the best countries for our band. But it's quick, man. 3 shows in a row, which I'm pretty surprised about. I was hoping it was the classic big day out style where we play a show, have 5 days off, play a show, have 5 days off.
Yeah.
That was like our first introduction to the country. So that was so good because we would just sightsee and eat and hang out. And, you know, with me saying Australia's one of my favorite countries in the world, I really mean it. My favorite restaurant, actually Trivium's favorite restaurant in the world, is in Melbourne, Australia. It's called Chin Chin. And all my other top favorite restaurants and top favorite things to do in the world are all in Australia, particularly in Melbourne. So I'm very excited. It at least starts there, so maybe we can get there early and enjoy Australia a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be the case, like try and hook up some flights so you can actually enjoy yourself, because like gone are the days of, you know, like you said, Big Day Out and Soundwave, the touring festivals around the country. Like now we get something like Good Things, which luckily for us in Brisbane, it goes up the East Coast so we don't get neglected. But how are you guys going to fit in like the history and obviously the Sin and the Sentence, which we haven't seen played down in Australia yet? How are you going to do that in your set list?
It depends. I don't know how long our set is yet. I imagine with being a festival, probably somewhere between 40 and 60 minutes. With having 8 records now, it's really, really hard to pick a set. But what's really been interesting and cool about our band is we have different sets and different factions of fans that each of the Trivium records is their favorite, and no one can seem to ever agree upon an order. You know, if you asked, before Sin came out, if you asked a fan to list their favorite Trivium records in order, it would be a different answer every single kid.
Yeah.
What's great about Sin is a record that everyone can agree on, finally. So if it's like a Shogun fan, they like Sin a lot. If it's a Crusade fan, they like Sin a lot. If it's an Ascendancy fan, they like Sin a lot. If it's an In Waves fan, they like Sin a lot. So this has definitely been our, I'd say, most successful record. Not necessarily in like album sales, but as a collective of the band growth and where we're at as a band in our history. So I would say that with Sin, we've seen, you know, a new height that we've never seen before. So we've been playing a lot of the Sin stuff live, and it's been going so well. I think we've played everything live except for one song, except for Revanches, and maybe one other song, but all I can think of is Revanches. So that's a really good sign of a great record, because not calling our other ones not great, but there are songs that we've never played and we might never play live. But with Sin, it's like there's no question we have to hit everything.
Well, that's the thing as well, too. Like, I've been listening to Trivium on and off throughout the years as well, and reviewing albums throughout my entire career in the music industry, The Sin and the Sentence was the very first album I gave a perfect score, 10 out of 10, because there was something about it. Like, I was in a shitty mood one day, and I finished off the review, and it actually put me in a much better mood after listening to it. So it's got that power, and it's resonating with fans young and old, and also bringing in the new people who have wanted to check out Trivium but haven't had that opportunity to do so yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that review. Yeah, because it's like, what's interesting with every country around the world is every country has a different record that's the most successful. And oddly, with Australia, it's Shogun. Shogun has done better in Australia than anywhere else it's done in the world, whereas the UK, it's Ascendancy. America, I think it's Sin. Germany, it's In Waves.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's something different in every country. So I think that the Australian fans who are in love with Shogun are going to be very happy with Sin, because I feel like there's elements of all 7 previous records in the Sin and the Sentence. Whereas other records, I've been really happy with taking such bold moves in making a different record every time. Because before we were in a band, we all had very diverse tastes, different favorite bands, loved every genre, loved every subgenre. So when we were in Trivium, we always try to make the kind of music that we feel like is missing, that we feel like we want to hear as fans of music. And I feel like that's why everything has been so different. That's why from Ascendancy to Crusade, no matter how successful Ascendancy was, we wanted to make the polar opposite, because we felt like we already did this, and every other band is already doing this style now too. Everyone else has screaming, everyone else has breakdowns and solos. Let's do the opposite. Let's make a record that has no screaming and no breakdowns and no double bass. And then, obviously, when In Waves came out, let's make something that's simple and super heavy. And then Sin, it's everything. Sin is simple and catchy. It's brutal and technical and slow and fast and singing and screaming and everything. And we like to just have everything. So, there's no plans for anything. I'm sure that's a question coming online. There's no plans for anything right now. But judging by the way Sin went, we seem to be happiest when we put everything in our sound. So we're going to do the same thing. Whenever in the future, in a couple years, year, 2, 3, when we start doing another record, it'll have everything, because we just like to have everything, and our fans like to have everything.
And look, that's the thing I absolutely love about Trivium. I mean, with you guys growing up and, sharing all those old photos of when the band first started out, like, you guys are metalheads who started a metal band who have now become, like, pioneers and people involved in the heavy metal community, but you're still fans at the end of the day. That's it. It doesn't matter how big your band gets.
Oh, yeah.
You're still metal fans.
Absolutely. And we're playing with one of my favorite bands in the world on Good Things, Violator's Murder. I've been listening to nothing but them and Fit for an Autopsy for the last couple of weeks. Like, big thing we always push, we always talk about our favorite bands.
Yeah,
and we're always cycling through everything and finding new favorite bands. Man, the newest iArt is one of the things that I have to listen to before I go to jiu-jitsu. And I can't wait till the new Fit for an Autopsy comes out. Been really jamming out to Knock Loose a lot. Nine Kills is incredible.
Fuck
There's just so many incredible new bands out, and not even new, because I mean, Dark's been around for a while, and Fitbird has been around for a while. But bands doing new, interesting things, and just really taking chances and doing some incredible things that remind people like me. Like you said, I'm still a fan of bands. I still geek out over bands. We're watching King Diamond with Emperor. We snuck in a bunch of beers to the front of house and watched it all together. And as us and Emperor are all singing at the top of our lungs along to King Diamond. So we're all still fans of what we do. That's what bands need to recognize, because I do see, and you've seen it, we've all seen it, we see these band guys that say, I haven't listened to anything since 1980 something. And it's like, that's not cool. That doesn't encourage the growth of bands. You know, when one band does well in the heavy scene, all bands do well in the heavy scene. It's our responsibility for bands that have a fan base to spread the love. You know, show our fans some new bands. Show our fans our favorite bands. Show them something. Yeah, to keep it all alive.
Essentially, pay it forward to all these other bands that are upcoming, and you're not even just the ones who are upcoming. Just show your fans what inspires you, what you were listening to when you were at their level.
Exactly, because I think there's bands and styles of music I don't like, but I love heavy music. So I want people to be listening to heavy music, and if I can turn someone into a metalhead or show someone a metalcore band that they might love, you know, I'd rather them get into that than something that has enough fans already. Like, I feel like our genres need to expose ourselves to as many people as we can, because we're not going to get everybody. And that's also one of the cool things about heavy music. It's not meant for everybody, but I think it's at least our responsibility to get the word out, show people what they can get into, and then hopefully we've got some people that end up buying some metal shirts and then showing up to our shows and maybe turning them into lifelong fans.
That's exactly it. Now, on that topic as well of turning people into metal fans, you became a dad recently to twins. Congratulations for that. On the back of that as well, I wanted to ask a question, like, will they be raised listening to heavy music?
Already are. When we were leaving the hospital, I already had the new Architects record on. Yeah, they're already listening to heavy music. Yes, you know, every day I'm a full-time band guy, full-time dad, but also full-time streamer. So Monday through Friday, I've got my 4 to 6 hours a day where I'm practicing. You know, what I stream primarily is music, so it's me staying in shape for tour, and so it's just me singing, screaming, and playing guitar all day. And they hear it. They come into the room. My son Akira has been actually copying my vocal cool down noises. Like, he knows exactly what time I'm supposed to stop. And you hear him start going, like, doing the same cool downs as me. It's pretty fun.
Oh, that's awesome. It's great because I myself have a 3-year-old turning 4 years old, and like his favorite band is A Day to Remember. So like it's great that we're being part of this whole movement to get the kids into this heavy music at such an early age.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, you got to. Like, I mean, my dad, I don't think he started having metal playing in the background, but he's always been into metal bands. But he would always have, like, Boston and Van Halen and Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Queen playing. So that good influence kind of got me into it. But, yeah, we'll have super heavy music on in the car while we're driving. My wife and I are like, we are not playing mindless baby music for these kids. We'll show them stuff that's, like, you know, stuff that's easy to digest here and there, but also heavy stuff. And it's all about exposing them to good music. You know, I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure my kids, you know, if they don't like it as they're adults, sure, we're all about them making their own decisions.
Yeah.
But I'm at least going to show them what they can like and what I think is great.
That's like, it's like instead of playing them like a Baby Geniuses tape where you hear like, you know, really smart people talking, you chuck on Devin Townsend, and that's like the smart version of metal.
Exactly. And I play a lot of classical music in the house too, because that's something I listen to a lot. Like, I'm pretty obsessed with classical music, but I love it because I feel like it's the only living relative, or metal is the only living relative to classical music, because it requires technicality, it requires musicianship, it has a lot of notes. Pop is nothing like classical music, whereas metal absolutely is.
Well, mate, we've covered a plethora of stuff in this conversation here, and we can't wait to see more of you when you get down here. Finally, Trivium making their return to Australia for Good Things Festival. Get your tickets right now. Matt, we'll see you very soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Great to finally talk to you.
Passing bells calling out my name. I knew I'd never see another day. I couldn't swim against the tides of blame. I knew there was no other way. You better practice your lines. You better practice your words. speaking in tongues, for they may call your name. You condemn me, 'cause you don't understand me. You condemn me, 'cause you don't understand me. Beware those who speak in tongues, for they may call your name. You condemn me, 'cause you don't understand me. You condemn me, 'cause you don't understand me.
Hey everyone, this is Scotty, and you are listening to Wall of Sound, Up Against the Wall.
The Damn Things are finally making their return to Australia for Good Things Festival 2019. They were last here for Counter Revolution. You might remember that was the Soundwave Revolution off-cut once that finally got, unfortunately, axed in the end. They put on a great show back then, and I'm keen to see what they do, especially with their new album, High Crimes. It came out earlier on this year. At the point when it got released, it was my favourite album of the year, and I'm keen to see these guys take to the stage once again, and hopefully you will find yourself a new favourite band to froth over. Good Things Festival is taking place December 6th through until December 8th, and you can get your tickets right now through goodthingsfestival.com.au. You do not want to miss out on this, the first music festival to kick off our festival season. The best thing about our festival season right now is we are absolutely spoilt for choice again. There was a couple of years back there where, we didn't have anything. It was such a scary time, and now we've got this. We need to support it. We need to show up and prove this is something that we want to get behind and support. So grab your mates, get your tickets, and go have yourself a bloody good time. But that's the end of this week's podcast. Thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, share it around, tag your mates, tell them all about it, and I'll catch you very soon. But before we get out of here today, I want to officially leave you with this. Now, there's a lot of talk out there for the Veronica's Mosh Pit. Now, we do know that they're going to be playing Good Things Festival, and everyone is so psyched and keen to see what they have to offer. But I wanted to talk to you about the proper song to do a Wall of Death in. Don't get me wrong, Untouched by the Veronicas is a great track, but there's no real stop-down point where you have the opportunity to get yourselves ready for a breakdown and a potential wall of death. The song you need to do it for is Forever, and I can guarantee you are going to see me smack bang in the middle of that mosh pit in both Melbourne and Sydney, preparing myself for what's to come with this song. So, I know there's a bunch of people out there who want to do a wall of death for Untouched. That's good if you want to do it, but if you want the real reaction and the best possible song to do it for, you've got to do it for this one here. This is the Veronica's Forever, a Wall of Sound up against the wall. My name is Browny. I'll catch you at Good Things.